Okay, thank you again for joining me, Kevin. Just want to go over my final video for evaluation, Module 8, Unit 11. So I felt this lesson was mostly a success. I think that the students really enjoyed the subject matter and were pretty enthusiastic. And it was an interesting challenge, and I enjoyed implementing the changes I received from feedback from my mentor and or instructor. Just overall, I felt that what I need to improve is, well, I was still finding it difficult to spread out questioning throughout the class so that all students have a chance to show their understanding. So I, again, allowed a few students to answer who had already answered and who always put their hands up. And I think this makes this concept of random questioning hard to sustain. And as we discussed last week, I had a student react negatively to the wheel, which is something I haven't had before. It's a student who has some learning issues, and he was really stressed by the idea of being randomly asked a question. And now that's something I need to think about, how to differentiate that part of my lesson, because it's not working for all the students. And I had a few issues with class discipline, being pretty noisy, and it's something that is always an ongoing process for me. What I want to do next is to continue working with my mentor, lucky old you, to develop my teaching, and we share an office, so hopefully I'll be able to rub off some of your great learning. And real areas of growth for me are summative and formative assessment, and really to start using, and well, not start using, but keep using these resources and really develop them, and so I use them better in class and couple them closer to my end of year reports and my ongoing lesson planning and unit planning. And because we're going to be changing from IPC to PYP, I'm going to need to work on developing my curriculum as well. So there's a lot of challenges coming up, but I feel more ready to meet them, I think, because of doing the clinical and getting so much good feedback and great new ideas. So as for the actual lesson, I took feedback about that I needed to really work on involving the whole class from both yourself and my instructor, that I need to involve the whole class and not just ask the same people and think about how I would do that. So I was using the wheel, but again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have to kind of think about how I use that and maybe find some other tools. So that'll be interesting. As per my instructor feedback from my first standard 1 video, I captured students' feedback on the board, so it was written up there. I also, as per feedback from my mentor, I got the students to fill out an exit ticket to check understanding at the end of the lesson. And another good idea I got from my instructor was to have a QR code for each table to facilitate logging in to Seesaw or to Google Classroom a lot quicker, because that's been taking a lot of time in my lessons. So that's kind of what I had to say about my lesson. Did you have any feedback, Kevin?
Well, I wrote quite a bit of feedback on your final evaluation, but some of the maybe highlights would be, I think, well, to start with, I think that, learning from each other, I don't really feel that you're necessarily going to learn so much from me, but that we're learning from each other all the time. So thanks for that feedback. But I think it is a really difficult situation when you do want to involve all students, but then some of them don't feel comfortable. So I think that diversifying some of those techniques like you've done is really good, with the exit ticket and writing up feedback on the board and things. I wouldn't push on, I personally don't feel like I'd want to push students to respond if they don't feel comfortable, and that could be due to diagnosis or language ability or other reasons. So I think,
I totally agree. Yeah, I think it's really like kind of impinging on their integrity, really, to kind of just to force them to take part of something that's just because I think it's what we should do.
Exactly, and so that you're not the authoritarian in the room. I mean, that's not how we want to be. So, and also, I mean, you also have other ways to see their learning, with Seesaw. Even if a student doesn't feel like they want to speak up or even write something down, you can still see their learning. So I think there are different ways you can go about that, and definitely is challenging, like you said, with the disruptive students. I think that one of the things that you really excel at is keeping a really positive attitude in the classroom. And also, but a good component to that is not only are you friendly in the classroom, but you also have high expectations of them. So when students do cut you off or interrupt in some way, you call them on it. So I think that's really creates a good environment where they know what the expectations are. You have a good classroom management in that sense. So that's super key, I think, especially with large classes and so many students. So,
yeah, the 6 different grades. Well, that's really nice feedback. Thank you. Okay, I think unless you have anything else, I think we're gonna finish off there.
No, I'll just say good luck moving forward.
Thank you very much.